Hey, what's going on, guys? Dr. Brady Salcedo here, and today we're going to be talking about sleep. All right, so let's start talking about some health tips and hacks to help you get better quality sleep. And I want to start off with the most important that I think is bar none the most overlooked thing when it comes to getting great quality sleep and also having a great morning routine, which is having a great evening routine or a great bedtime routine. You see this with kids all the time. Kids need a great bedtime routine to get to sleep better, but as adults, we totally forget about this. But I want to give you another example that'll help drive this home a little bit more. Think if you have this NFL player that just jumped on the field for the game without a warm-up. Do you think they're going to be playing as great as they could? No, of course not. It's probably going to take them probably a few plays before they could even get close to warm up. They're going to be more vulnerable to injury, and they're probably not going to play to their potential because they didn't get a good warm up to prime their body to take advantage of playing on the field. It's the same thing when it comes to our sleep. If you don't get that pre-game warm-up, that pre-bedtime routine to get your body ready for sleep, you're going to find it's going to take you, one, longer to get to sleep, but two, it's going to take a while before you can even get great quality sleep, and all of a sudden you're finding yourself not getting the best sleep that you could. That is why having an optimal bedtime routine is so critical for sleep. And there's a couple things that I really want to drive home with a bedtime routine that you really should take advantage of. Now, there are a couple things that really make a great nighttime routine for optimal sleep. And it starts with no technology before bed, at least an hour before bed. Give your brain that break. And here's why. The LED screens from computers, cell phones, TVs emit a specific kind of light called blue light that can really jack up what's known as your circadian rhythm, which is what manages your sleep cycles. And the LED lights emit that blue light that's unnatural for your brain and almost stimulates the light that happens at noon. So when you're looking at that light, your brain's thinking it's actually noon when it's really time to get ready for bed. So people who tend to use screens at night tend to have poor quality sleep. The second component of having a great nighttime routine would be having a de-stress ritual. That can be meditation, that can be reading, that can be journaling. You want something that's going to signal your brain, hey, it's time to shut off today, time to close the book on today, and let's get ready to rest, recover for the next day. So many people, the reason they have a tough time sleeping is they can't close the book on today, and their brain keeps spinning. Their brain keeps working through what happened during the day. What do they got to do tomorrow? And they just can't get to sleep because their brain's still working. So some of this could even be reading, meditating, but also could be having a to-do list of things you need to do tomorrow just so you can get it on paper, be done with it, close the book, and get yourself into that mode where you start getting ready to go to bed. Now, for those of you who have a really difficult time getting to sleep, I would actually recommend something called magnesium. Magnesium is what's known as nature's Valium. It's a natural mineral that we find throughout our world, but it's very, very important for calming your nervous system. Magnesium actually has a calming effect on your nervous system and plays a critical role in sleep. Many people tend to be deficient in magnesium, so if you're having a difficult time sleeping, magnesium would be a great addition to your supplements that's natural and it's effective to help calm your nervous system to get better quality sleep. Another sneaky piece of advice for better sleep is actually foam rolling. I've mentioned this a few times, but foam rolling and stretching before bed is actually one of the best ways to, one, calm your body to get ready for better optimal sleep. But not only that, foam rolling, doing any sort of muscle work before bed will actually stimulate the release of serotonin in your body. And remember, serotonin is the precursor to melatonin. So you need serotonin to create more melatonin. So by foam rolling before bed, what you're actually going to be doing is stimulating the release of the building blocks to melatonin so that your body can naturally create as much melatonin as it needs for you to get optimal sleep that night. So just to recap, here are my top 4 components for better quality sleep. 1, no technology. 2, have a de-stress ritual. 3, create a consistent ritual and routine that acts as a trigger for your brain to initiate optimal quality sleep and relaxation. And 4 would be additional health hacks like melatonin and foam rolling that help your body produce more melatonin so you can get better quality sleep. Now, I want to address a big myth around sleep, and that's around something called melatonin. Melatonin is known as your sleep hormone, and many people think that melatonin, and maybe supplementing with melatonin, is going to help them get better quality sleep. But that's actually not true. According to Dr. Matt Walker in his book, Why We Sleep, melatonin is great for helping you get to sleep, but it has very little influence over the quality and depth of your sleep. So yes, melatonin is beneficial, but it's not necessarily the end-all, be-all when it comes to sleep quality and making sure you're maximizing your sleep. So for those of you who are supplementing with melatonin, just be aware you're helping yourself get to sleep, but you still need to be doing things to give yourself more quality sleep. Melatonin is basically giving you a ride to the gym, but they're not going to help you work out. Did you know there's actually an ideal temperature for your room to be at to get optimal quality sleep? It turns out that lower, cooler temperatures are actually far better for sleep than warmer temperatures. Some of you have probably already experienced that, but the ideal temperature is between 60 to 67 degrees, and there's a reason for this. When our body goes to initiate sleep, your body temperature actually drops. So when your room is cooler than it normally is, it's going to facilitate your body to lower its own internal body temperature and initiate your sleep cycle quicker. So don't be afraid to turn that dial low and get it nice and cool in that room. Now, another way to really optimize the quality of your sleep is through tracking it and by getting data on your sleep. This is something that not a lot of people do, and there's really two tools that I like out there for you to use. One of the first ones is the Oura Ring. That's one I use, and I pretty much just use that one for my sleep. If you want to get a little bit more advanced, you could use something called the Whoop strap. If you want to use this more for sleep and also measuring stress and HRV, I think the Whoop strap's a little bit better in that aspect because it's a band that you can wear. It's a little bit easier to wear that throughout the day, whereas the Oura band tends to spin around a little bit. Sometimes you lose track of data there. Those are the two that I like in terms of getting data for your sleep. Now, there's a reason why we want to gather data about our sleep is how do you know if something's effective or not that you're doing in your routine if you don't track it, if you don't know what your baseline is? That's why these data tools and these analytics that we can get from things like Oura Ring and Whoop straps are so beneficial because it's going to give you deep insight underneath the hood as to what's working, what's actually working, and what's not working. Otherwise, you're just guessing based on how you feel, and that's not always the most optimal way to track it. So I like using that because I can do something like, say, add magnesium into my schedule and be able to track the data and see, okay, is that really helping? Or is it just a placebo? Or what's actually going on? You don't know unless you're testing it. Now, getting optimal sleep is a process. It's not something that happens overnight. It comes with fine-tuning and trying new things and adding new habits and routines. As you go through the process, you get better and better. You will find your own optimal routine that works best for you, and that's how you get optimal sleep is by constantly testing, adapting, and changing things up until you get the rhythm or routine that works well for you. So again, thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. Hopefully you found this useful and instructive. Hopefully this helps you get better quality sleep, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.